The truth about your cat's strangest habits that nobody explains. Have you ever looked at your cat and thought, why would you do that? One second they're sleeping so deeply, you wonder if they even know you're there. The next, they're sprinting through the house as if something invisible is chasing them. They stare at empty walls. They knock objects off tables while looking directly into your eyes. They suddenly choose to sleep inside a cardboard box instead of the expensive bed you bought. Sometimes they follow you from room to room without asking for attention, then disappear for hours as if you no longer exist. Most people call these behaviors strange. Some even believe cats are simply unpredictable. But what if none of these actions are random? The truth is that your cat is communicating almost constantly. The problem is that humans usually expect communication to look human. We wait for obvious signals, clear reactions, or direct affection. Cats rarely work that way. Specialists in feline behavior explain that much of a cat's language is silent. It is built through movement, routine, posture, timing, and tiny decisions that seem meaningless until you understand what they actually represent. Researchers who study domestic cats have discovered that many behaviors owners dismiss as odd are deeply connected to ancient survival instincts, emotional security, environmental awareness, and trust. Your cat may be revealing how safe it feels, what it notices before you do, or even how it interprets your own behavior. The surprising part is that these messages happen every single day without a single meow. Once you recognize these hidden patterns, you stop seeing your cat as mysterious. You begin seeing an animal that has been giving you answers all along. The behaviors that once made you laugh or scratch your head suddenly become clues about your cat's emotional world, its instincts, and the unique relationship it has with you. In this video, you'll discover 5 truths behind some of the strangest feline behaviors that almost every owner misunderstands. Some of them will completely change the way you interpret your cat's everyday actions. And the final truth is one of the most overlooked of all. Once you understand it, you may never look at your cat the same way again. Your cat isn't being weird, it's following an ancient survival instinct. If your cat suddenly races through the house at full speed, hides under the bed for no apparent reason, or changes its favorite sleeping spot every few days, it's easy to assume something strange is happening. In reality, your cat is often following instincts that have existed for thousands of years. Although domestic cats have lived alongside humans for a long time, they have changed surprisingly little from their wild ancestors. Specialists in feline behavior explain that today's house cats still carry many of the same survival strategies that once helped them avoid predators while hunting prey. Those instincts never disappeared. They simply adapted to life inside your home. Take those sudden bursts of energy that many owners call the midnight crazies. Researchers who observe feline behavior explain that these short explosions of movement help cats release built-up energy and imitate the intense activity their ancestors experienced during hunting. Even an indoor cat that has never chased anything larger than a toy mouse still has a brain wired to prepare for quick, explosive action. The same idea explains why your cat constantly changes where it sleeps. It isn't necessarily being picky. In nature, resting in the exact same place every day could make an animal predictable and vulnerable. By rotating sleeping spots, cats naturally satisfy an instinct that once helped keep them safe. Today, your living room replaces the forest, but the instinct remains. Hiding is another behavior that people often misunderstand. While prolonged hiding can sometimes indicate stress or illness, occasional retreats into closets, boxes, or quiet corners are completely normal. Experts explain that these small hideaways give cats a sense of control over their environment. They are choosing a place where they can observe without being disturbed, something every successful predator values. When you begin seeing these behaviors through the lens of instinct instead of human logic, your cat suddenly becomes much easier to understand. What once looked random starts looking incredibly purposeful, and that leads to another surprising discovery. Some of your cat's strangest actions are not driven by instinct alone. They are actually part of a silent language that your cat has been using with you all along. The strangest things your cat does are often secret forms of communication. Most people believe cats communicate mainly by meowing. The surprising truth is that meows are only a small part of the conversation. Specialists in feline behavior explain that cats rely much more on body language, eye contact, movement, and subtle daily habits to express themselves. If you only listen for sounds, you'll miss most of what your cat is trying to say. Think about the moments when your cat quietly sits across the room, staring at you. It can feel a little unsettling, but in many cases, your cat isn't judging you or waiting for food. It's simply observing. Cats constantly monitor the people they trust, learning their routines and predicting what they will do next. Researchers have found that cats become remarkably familiar with their owners' habits, allowing them to anticipate everything from feeding time to bedtime. Then there is the slow blink. Animal behavior experts often describe it as one of the clearest signs of relaxation and trust. When a cat slowly closes and opens its eyes while looking at you, it is showing that it feels safe enough to lower its guard for a brief moment. Many owners are surprised to discover that slowly blinking back can encourage the same relaxed response. Even where your cat chooses to sit can carry meaning. A cat that settles nearby without demanding attention may simply enjoy your presence. It doesn't always need interaction to feel connected. For many cats, quietly sharing the same space is already a form of companionship. This is one reason they often follow their owners from room to room, only to lie down a few feet away without asking to be touched. Another behavior that confuses many people is when a cat stands in a doorway or casually blocks your path. While it may seem like your cat is trying to get in the way, it is often placing itself where important movement happens. Doorways are observation points, and staying there allows your cat to keep track of both you and its surroundings at the same time. Once you realize your cat is speaking through actions instead of words, countless everyday moments begin to make sense. But there is something even more fascinating. Many behaviors that appear completely unpredictable are actually happening according to patterns so subtle that most humans never notice them. What looks random to you is actually a series of invisible patterns. One of the biggest misconceptions about cats is that they act on impulse. They certainly look spontaneous, but studies of feline behavior show that cats thrive on routine. They constantly collect information about their surroundings and build predictable patterns based on what they see, hear, smell, and experience every day. Your cat probably notices changes long before you do. A new scent on your shoes, furniture moved a few inches, an unfamiliar sound outside the window, or even a different tone in your voice can change the way it behaves. While these details seem insignificant to us, they become valuable pieces of information for an animal that depends on careful observation. This is why your cat may suddenly start spending time in a different room or become interested in a spot it ignored for months. From your perspective, nothing has changed. From your cat's perspective, the environment is constantly evolving. Specialists in animal behavior explain that cats perform regular security checks, quietly revisiting familiar areas to make sure everything remains as expected. Many owners also wonder why their cat appears at exactly the same time every morning, waits by the door before someone comes home, or heads toward the kitchen minutes before dinner. It may seem like your cat can tell time, but researchers believe cats are actually responding to consistent patterns. They learn the sequence of daily events, the amount of natural light entering the house, familiar household sounds, and your own habits. Over time, these signals become an incredibly accurate internal schedule. This ability to detect patterns is one reason cats often seem to predict things before their owners notice them. They are paying attention every moment, even when they appear relaxed. Their quiet observation is never truly switched off. Understanding this changes the way you see your cat. What once looked mysterious is often the result of careful attention to details that humans naturally overlook. But there is one category of behavior that causes even more confusion. Some actions that owners consider annoying, disrespectful, or intentionally mischievous may actually reveal something surprisingly positive about the relationship they have with their cat. So many bad behaviors are actually signs your cat feels safe with you. Few things frustrate cat owners more than watching a paw slowly push a glass, a pen, or your keys right off the edge of a table. It almost looks intentional, as if your cat enjoys causing trouble. While some cats certainly learn that this gets a reaction, specialists in feline behavior explain that the motivation is often much more interesting than simple mischief. Cats are naturally curious. They explore the world by watching, smelling, touching, and testing how objects respond. A moving item instantly becomes more interesting because movement activates the same instincts used when tracking prey. If knocking something over also makes you speak, look at them, or walk across the room, your cat quickly learns that this behavior creates interaction. From your cat's perspective, it has discovered a reliable way to get your attention. The same idea explains why many cats insist on sitting on your laptop, lying across the book you're reading, or stepping directly onto your keyboard. They're not trying to ruin your work. Researchers who study the bond between cats and humans suggest that cats are often attracted to places where your attention is focused. Your scent, your body heat, and your stillness make those spots feel important and safe. Many owners also wonder why their cat follows them everywhere but refuses to be held. This can seem contradictory until you realize that companionship and physical contact are not the same thing for every cat. Simply choosing to stay near you is often a powerful sign of trust. Your cat feels secure enough to share your space while still deciding when and how it wants to interact. Of course, context always matters. If these behaviors suddenly appear alongside hiding, loss of appetite, aggression, or other unusual changes, they should not be ignored. Experts recommend paying attention to patterns rather than judging a single action on its own. That idea leads to the most important truth of all. The biggest mistake people make is not misunderstanding one strange behavior. It's trying to explain every behavior without looking at the complete picture. The biggest mistake cat owners make when trying to understand their cats? If there is one lesson that changes everything about living with a cat, it is this. Never judge a single behavior by itself. A cat is constantly sending signals, but those signals only make sense when you look at the whole picture. The position of the ears, the movement of the tail, the environment, the time of day, your own actions. And even what happened a few minutes earlier all work together to tell the real story. This is why two cats can do the exact same thing for completely different reasons. A cat hiding inside a closet may simply want a quiet nap, while another may be feeling overwhelmed by unfamiliar visitors. A cat staring out the window could be entertained by birds outside, or it could be monitoring changes in its territory. The behavior looks identical, but the meaning changes with the context. Experts in feline behavior encourage owners to stop asking, "Why did my cat do this once?" and start asking, "When does my cat usually do this? And what else is happening at that moment?" That simple shift reveals patterns that are almost impossible to notice otherwise. Over time, you'll begin recognizing your cat's individual personality. You'll notice the difference between excitement and anxiety, between curiosity and caution, between independence and quiet affection. No article, video, or expert can know your cat better than someone who learns to observe these small details every day. The greatest surprise is that your cat has probably never been confusing at all. It has been communicating in the same consistent way since the day it entered your home. The language never changed, only your ability to understand it did. So the next time your cat suddenly runs across the house, stares silently at you, changes sleeping spots, or does something that seems completely strange, don't dismiss it as random behavior. Pause for a moment and observe. You may be witnessing a message that has always been there, waiting for someone who finally knows how to read it.